right now.
Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to another exciting episode of Dentistry Gone Wild. Now, you know me and my girl gonna bring you the best that dentistry has to offer when it comes to mobile and teledentistry. We're not even playing with y'all. What's up? Who we got today?
Hey, Sonya. Okay, so I am a sucker for new technology, new
Yes, she is.
products, right?
She is.
Like,
She is.
bring
She
it
is.
on. And so today we have the team from Aerosol Assist here who's going to showcase what they are, where they're from, and what they're all about. So, guys, welcome. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you
Hey,
both
how's
for
it going?
having us on.
Yeah. Thanks for
Really
being here.
excited.
Yeah. So okay. So there's two of you on. So let's take this step by step. Werner, let's start with you.
Okay.
Give us the shout out like who you are and what Aerosol Assist is. And then I'm sure Dr. V, I'm sure you're gonna have a lot to say too.
Yeah, sure, not a problem. So yeah, my name is Werner Blumenthal. I'm a co-founder at Aerosol Assist along with Dr. Vigarnia. My background's in biomedical engineering, so I'm new to this space, so bear with me if there's some questions that might go over my head. But the doctor and I, we've been friends for 20 plus years.
Wow.
And he's always wanted to develop some of the ideas that he's been working on in the past. And last year we had more time on our hands than we wanted to due to the scenario, right? So we decided to buckle down and get to work on the aerosol cyst. And the aerosol cyst essentially is a product that helped us both get back to work. It was something that was absolutely necessary for him to, build up some confidence to get back into his office, as well as for his hygienist. And we've been very fortunate that it's been a product that has been received with high regards, specifically in the hygiene realm of dentistry. And and the doctor, I know he's been using it for some of his procedures as well. I know he uses some other products that exist out there that do offer similar, I guess, advantages. But the aerosol cysts, we just want to make sure that the hygienists out there know that we're really championing them with this product. It's something that's really catered to the people who don't have access to an assistant and want to work with the same level of protection as somebody who does. So it's a aerosol reduction device that basically upgrades your standard saliva ejector to now have high performance aerosol suppression as well as intraoral fluid removal,
That interoral. That's good.
all from one HV line. V, you want to add anything to that?
I think you said it all.
All right. At least introduce yourself. Let people know who you
I'm
are.
Dr. Aguelo. Uh, Everyone can call me Dr. B. And I'm the other co-founder, and that's pretty much it.
Well, so go ahead, Sonya.
No, go ahead. Em.
I was gonna say, so you're the clinical portion of this. So I would imagine that this initial idea was in your head and then Werner helped, bring it to fruition. Is that the case here?
Yeah. What the real story is, we actually started working on a different device, and then that device became too complicated, and we just took different portions of it, and then we created the aerosol assist based off of one portion of that device. The original device that we made is the mini assist, and it's able to do a lot more, but because we wanted to go ahead and simplify it and make sure that it's able to go ahead and work for as many people as possible, we created the aerosol assist. So
Yeah,
yeah,
honestly, initially we were really pushing for a dentist product, right? So he had an idea that's a little bit more elaborate and requires a lot more heavy lifting. And we ended up just kind of simplifying it down to what we absolutely needed at the time, which was aerosol reduction and protection against aerosols. And it wasn't something that initially was designed specifically for hygienists, to be perfectly honest. It ended up falling into that route because we got a lot of feedback from his hygienist. And they basically beat up our initial products. They didn't like it. It was too cumbersome. It was too many parts. There was things that had to do with sizing, and they just said, yeah. I mean, they humored us to test it at the beginning, and they said, yeah, it works well, but it's too much of a hassle. We would look away, and they'd stop using it. We realized, all right, we need to improve our design significantly because we know if the hygienists aren't using it on their own, we're in trouble. So they helped us greatly reduce the complexity of the product. Obviously, Dr. Arguello had some feedback as well, but we started out with something that was far more elaborate and to be perfectly honest, maybe too cumbersome for the market. And we ended up simplifying it down to its most basic form, which is what the Aerosol Assist now today.
Now let me ask you this: do one of you all, because you sent me some, and I want to talk about it. Um, do you have one that you can show
Yes,
us?
I do. I do have
Okay,
one.
so now for you all that's listening to this on this podcast, you're gonna have to go to our social media platform to see this. So hold it up for me, Warner.
Sure. Here you go. This is the Aerosol Assist. So it's a one-piece part. It's all welded together, so it has no adhesives that we need to worry about, and it plugs directly into your HV line. So this is for a standard connector right here. So you just plug it into a standard HV line. Then we have about a 35 millimeter port here, which is well beyond the width needed or the diameter needed to effectively reduce aerosols. So it's something that is really simplistic. It's only 20 grams, so it's really lightweight. It's not something that's going to weigh down on the patient too much. And just to use this, I mean, we all know how to use this product
With
here,
this
right?
saliva ejector, right?
Exactly. So standard saliva ejector. It doesn't even have to be a Patterson one. It could be one off of Amazon. Just standard saliva ejector. Just bend the tip just a tad bit, and what you're going to do is put it into the posterior line here. This is one that's dedicated to saliva. So just make sure that when you look in that, there's a hole in the back there that you want to shoot for. You put that in there. You push it all the way down to the bottom, and then you lock it into place, kind of like if you're putting a switch, and then you bend it into this position so that then now you can put it into the patient's mouth. If you want to make it longer, you can actually pull it out, make it longer, or put it back in. And the good thing is that once you put it into a position, it just kind of stays there. So it's actually it's a pretty nice device, so that if you're worried about somebody with a gag reflex or something like that, position it so that they're comfortable. If saliva is pooling in a certain area, you can position the saliva ejector right there, and it's kind of like a gravity blanket. I explain it. It's has a little bit of weight from the HV line, just enough so that the patient doesn't mess with it, but it's very comfortable considering the design and the buckle plate application. I also have some videos I
and
can
it,
show
it
you.
It's a gravity blanket, actually. I never thought of it like that.
and it kind of lays on the face, right? It kind of
It,
rests
it,
on
it does, yeah. So
it
this
rests
is
on the patient's face. So that you all who is not seeing this, it's a white tube, and it kind of rests on the patient face, so no aerosols can escape. It all gets sucked in through the saliva ejector. So the little bit of aerosols that would escape, they're all encaped and encapsulated in this tube that goes in. So
exactly.
it's pretty cool. Now, okay, so I got mine. I was so happy because I like getting boxes. And
You doing
but
unboxing?
It was
yeah, I love
it was a cool box too.
the
Yeah.
box is sexy. It's like an
Yep.
orange and white box. So,
Mhm.
order one if you want to get something in the mail that's kind of
Yep.
sexy. So
Mhm.
um I got mine. There
There
it
it
is.
is.
There it is. There it is.
Yep.
So, and I took it with me with my mobile unit. Um, so with my population, it did not work as well because my people aren't laying back a lot of times.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
My people sit up in a wheelchair, so it kept dropping down. And
Mhm.
if I'm already holding the Cavitron, then I'm already accustomed to holding the saliva ejector, but it would be so. And so what I tried to do is hold it and move it, but I kept hitting them in the face with it. So it, so let me tell you what I did.
Mhm.
I pulled the saliva ejector back a little bit and I put it over the Cavitron while I was suctioning, while I was
Okay.
killing, and it was suctioning, and I could still see.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense? So I
Yeah.
reinvented a new way to use it.
She wants
But it was,
commission. Okay.
but
So
but
just
but it was in their mouth. It
Okay.
was mostly in their mouth. But for the elderly people, it was okay with it because one thing is aerosols are huge in nursing homes,
Mhm.
because that was the biggest population that, that got hit with the COVID. So
Yes.
I wanted if now for me, if the thing was smaller, it would have worked better in the mouth.
Okay.
It would have worked better in the mouth. But my people, a lot of them don't lay down. And then if they do lay down, they have really bad gag. A lot of them are on thick liquids. They don't
Mhm.
swallow good. So it worked good if someone has a big enough mouth. But I didn't get it hardly. The aerosols are going right into it. And I was like, okay, it just kind of figured it out on its own way to work. But I like it. It was easy to clean.
Good.
And yeah, I think it's a great product. So, I'm glad you all invented that, because nowadays any sort of way that we can reduce aerosols are important. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, it does. And I think that's what we're trying to push too. I mean, same way people have a standard of wearing gloves and your standard PPE, we just feel like it's now something that is absolutely necessary to have some kind of standard implemented product to help you reduce your aerosol. So whether it's the Aerosol Assist or some other product, we definitely think that moving forward, everybody should have access to that level of protection. So we just want to make sure that the Aerosol Assist is part of the solution to bridge the gap between those products that already exist that are a little bit more elaborate and something extremely simplistic, so that if you're in mobile dentistry, you can do it. And I like the fact that you brought up the fact that if you're sitting upright, it's a little bit more cumbersome. You're 100% correct, right? And that's one of the things that we try to explain on our website. The Aerosol Assist is comfortable when positioned correctly, right? And in the upright seat position, it's a difficult position for our product, admittedly so. But as soon as you have somebody that's laying back, then now all of a sudden it fits very comfortably. The buccal plate doesn't dig into the gums or anything like that. I could show a video if that's okay. I can share a screen.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, let me go ahead and just get this going over here. That way I can share my screen. Okay, you should be able to see the PowerPoint presentation at this point, right?
Perfect.
Okay, good. So what I'll do here is I'll just hit play on this. And what I'll do is I'll show you some of the testing that we did while we were developing the product. So this is what we call aerosol visualization testing. And what we're doing here, we have the same lighting set up on both of these tests that we're running in parallel. And on the left, we're just using an ultrasonic scaler as we are on the right. They're both on the same settings, same lighting. But what you'll notice is on the left, as the patient's actually breathing, you see the aerosols actually shift direction. Obviously, if you're the practitioner working very close to this, you're now exposed to this as well. So when you compare the left and the right together, you'll notice there's a drastic decrease in the amount of visible aerosols and splatter on the right versus on the left. In order to better understand how the product works, we also developed a system called splatter visualization testing. In this instance, what we're doing is we actually have photosensitive, non-toxic dye loaded into the scaler. We have, again, set up at the same settings. And what we're doing is we're running the same test side by side. Again, on the left, we just have a standard saliva ejector. And on the right, we have the saliva ejector upgraded with the Aerosol Assist. And you'll notice a significant difference in the amount of splatter that starts to accumulate on the left versus the right. And you'll even start to notice some accumulation of the splatter around the patient's nasal cavity, which is actually pretty surprising as well. So that's something that when we noticed that kind of result, we thought, all right, we're doing something right. This is not just another Me Too product that would put a couple holes into a piece of plastic. And this one, I'll actually mute it because it gets kind of loud. But here we're doing this with the high speed, right? So that's the sound you hear in the background. And this is something that was kind of like a jaw-dropping moment for us because, again, same lighting, same setup. On the left, you'll notice with the standard saliva ejector, as the patient's breathing, you see a lot of it come out of their mouth. And then on the right, we have the high speed running the entire time, and there's nearly nothing that's visible. So it's a huge improvement upon what you're currently having to deal with. Not to mention, if you're working on a patient the entire time, they're not getting wet. You don't have to stop to dry them off. You don't have to change bibs, things like that. So just, I mean, even if you're not worried about COVID, just moving forward, it's just, you just want to keep yourself clean. Just don't want to get it in your hair. You don't want to get it on your blouse. You want to make sure that you stay clean and don't take that home with you, right? You want to keep it there at the practice.
I can't tell you how many times in the clinical chair when, women come in with makeup and like lipstick on, right? And I use Cavitron and they're getting a little misty and it's like, all I can do to tell them, don't wipe it, just let it air dry. But they have to go and reapply their makeup. So this looks amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So if at least save non-waterproof makeup, right?
There you go. There you go.
One of the interesting, go back to that actually, Werner.
Sure, not a problem.
One of the interesting things about that slides that always surprises me is when we were doing a research of like how aerosols are generated, is what you're seeing on the screen is only 1% of all the aerosols being generated.
No.
Most of the aerosols generated are not visible to the human eye. They're too small for that. So like the ones that are visually being able to be seen, it only accounts for 1%. 99% of them are small enough that they're actually able to bypass all your the protective barriers, like from the masks and from even from your lungs. It just goes straight into the alveoli and gets absorbed into your bloodstream. So I would always you know, it feels weird saying that, like I never put two and two together, but I used to go ahead and start feeling sick every Friday and Saturday. Like if I'm about to come down with something, sometimes I would get sick, like, you know, with a respiratory infection. And, you know, like for 5 or 6 years of working like that, I never put two and two together that like every Friday, if that happened every Friday, obviously it's from the stuff that I'm doing Monday to Thursday. And that's when I started, you know, when we started researching this, we saw that respiratory infections was the highest risk or is the most common reason dental professionals miss work. And, you know, it finally hit me like, oh crap, you know, like that's not something, you know, we're not inventing this, you know, like COVID just brought it to light more than anything else, but it's been a problem and it's going to continue being a problem until every single procedure has some form of protection, whether it be our product or anything. Every single time you do something, it's like putting on a mask and gloves. You're not going to go ahead and put on what some people, you know, because, oh, they look healthy enough, you know, like that makes no sense. It should be done consistently.
Exactly. That the picture, listen, pictures speak for 1,000 words. If you're listening to this podcast, please go to our social platform and see these pictures. It's amazing, the reduction in aerosols here. That's great.
Yeah, and one thing I want to point out, this isn't doctored, because we've gotten a lot of, you know, a lot of questions like, oh wait, but I don't ever see that much when I'm actually using my tool. Well, it's because we set up the proper lighting, right? We obviously wanted to highlight what is not very easily visible in a very bright room against a white background. So we had to have the room dark. We had to have a spotlight right on where the aerosols came out. So this is a standard piece of equipment. Don't, you know, I don't want anybody to think, oh, well, you know, they exaggerated that with some kind of setting. No, that's how the setting normally is used. We just made sure we had a good way of visualizing it. Is, you know, high-end photography equipment and good lighting to be able to see this. But this exists in your chair today. It's not something that we just doctored up.
That's amazing. There's two things I like about this. First, Dr. V, you have an amazing story to tell. I'm a sucker for a good story. And that right there, I mean, we can all kind of imagine in what you went through every Friday, you know, and now with this, we can understand. And so I love that story. Second thing is, I love that Werner is a biomedical engineer and that like, we know that this is, you know, prototype 1 or 2 or 3, but like down the road, what else could you guys do together? Like that's
Exactly.
what gets me so excited. Because and if the fact that we are mobile clinicians and whether we take the care in our workplaces or in an RV, a dental van, we need things that save us space. And so we're not going to be out there looking for these big hoods or big funnels to come and like put beside the patient to collect the aerosols. So this is like less than 6 inches long and it sits on the saliva ejector. So that's exactly what we need as mobile clinicians. So thank you for putting your time and energy and effort into this and getting it launched.
No problem. Yeah, we have a whole line of products that are coming out. I mean, they're still in R&D, so we can't share them publicly. I think we gave some hints to Melissa and Sonya last time we spoke, but
yes.
Yeah, we do have a line of products that are coming out. They are going to be complementary to the Aerosol Assist. So if you do get into the Aerosol Assist ecosystem, or let's just call it the Assist ecosystem, we're going to be coming out with other Assist products to help build upon this product so that now you can have more functionality out of this product, which kind of takes us back to the original product that we originally started to develop before the pandemic hit. And what we're doing is we kind of made a deconstructed version of it. Forgive me if that sounds weird. I just watched too much Top Chef, I guess. But, but we made a
nice
deconstructed, yeah, we made a deconstructed a la carte version of what we were originally designing. So this is the first part.
Well, if you serve food with it, I'm sure all of us will be there in a heartbeat anyway.
I'm understanding red wine is a favorite amongst the hygienists.
There you go.
Definitely make sure to do that.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you for coming on today. If somebody wants to reach out or purchase one of these, where can they do that?
Yeah, so they can actually go to the aerosolassist.com to purchase it there. Also, we are selling via distribution. So if you are a customer of Patterson, Midway, or Practicon, you can purchase from them as well. I know they have different, you know, kind of internal pricings depending on their customer and how much they purchase, et cetera. But yeah, just go to aerosolassist.com or you can go to Patterson, Midway, or Practicon.
And I would love to get our audience hands-on with this. So will you be at the National Mobile and Teledentistry Conference coming up in March?
We will. How are we going to miss Las Vegas? Of course we're going to be there.
I mean, it would be great if you all could, if people could be able to be hands-on with this, like Melissa said. We would love to have that there.
We actually, you can, if you are curious and you don't want to spend the full amount of money for an entire kit, you can order a 1-unit demo that we're selling below cost on our website, just so you can get your hands on one and try it out. Because we know we're a new company. We need to build trust. You know, we need to team up with people like you, so you can try it and, you know, tell us your honest opinion, right? So I appreciate Sonya telling me that, you know, in an upright position, it's not the most comfortable, and it's the truth, right? You can't solve every problem, but that's exactly what we want. We want people to try it out, understand the limitations and the pros of our product before they commit.
Well, listen, and you know what, guys? Now that can't be more fair for them to allow you to get your hands on a demo and to allow you to try it. But thank you guys for being on our
Thank you both.
show. Thank you for saying that you're going to be a part of dentistry gone wild in the future, and you're going to be a part of the conference March 3rd through 5th in Vegas, which is going to be Velocity in Vegas, because we taking dentistry to the next level, and we're so excited. Listen, to our audience, thank you for being a part of the show today. Click like and share this video. Show it to your dentist so he can reduce the aerosols in the practice. And please subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye
Take care.
now.